about to let y'all know how we rep the Cowboys out here in the DMV.
What up, guys? What up? It's your boy John G. I'm on the way to work this morning, channeling my inner Mark Holmes. Yeah, shout out to E2 Blue. Shout out to Mark Holmes, because this discussion is kind of triggered by a conversation we had the other day, somewhat about Hitchens and Orlando Scandrick. And in my mind, you're going to read the title of this video, and it's going to seem like I'm super cutthroat, but I promise there's a lot of methodology behind what I'm talking right now. So, yes, I believe that we should cut ties with Orlando Scandrick, and I believe that we should cut ties with Anthony Hitchens at this point. The reason that I say that is this league is a high turnover league, and unless you're a difference maker, and unless you're a difference maker, all right, so let me phrase it like this. Unless you're a difference maker, if we're in a point where we got to create some money, or we got to create some type of a change, then there should be no, you shouldn't be safe. Nobody should be safe at this point. Yes, the Cowboys defense did overachieve quite a bit as to what they were supposed to last year, in my opinion. They did. The numbers show that. But what that doesn't necessarily mean is that we should keep all of the same things in place. And because the reason that I say that is because we can get better and younger at certain positions. Now, me and Irvin, E2 Blue, by the way, make sure you subscribe to his channel. He is a big Anthony Hitchens guy, and that's where in my opinion, we had a bit of a disagreement, because I don't believe that we need Anthony Hitchens moving forward. I believe that we could get somebody better, or maybe younger, or we can replace Anthony Hitchens' production with another veteran and maybe drafting another guy. That has been the motto of the league over the years, but as Cowboy fans, we get too attached to players. And it's not necessarily all our fault, because the way that our team is marketed, every little thing that we do is it could be microscopic, but it's just like magnified. So it's like, what are we gonna do about Anthony Hitchens? In my case, I'm like, well, let's look at the facts. Matt Eberflus is over in Indianapolis. They have $77 million of cap room. The Indianapolis Colts suck. Bottom line, they have more to offer him at this point than we do. We can't even guarantee him a starting position at this point, because if we draft a linebacker, he's going to be behind whoever that is. They can offer him more money. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, cool. Because ultimately, in my mind, I'm thinking we need to go ahead and get Earl Thomas if we can get him. So we can't get Earl Thomas with our money situation the way it is. The reason that I say that is DeMarcus Lawrence. We have to figure out what we're going to do there. They're going to try and get a deal done. It's more than likely that it'll be a cap. Like we're going to put the franchise tag on them, which is about $17 million. So where are we going to create the money? The way that we create the money, there's a couple of ways we can create the money, and they talked about it on the lunch break. But we can't create the money later on down the line, if we sign Anthony Hitchens to another deal. We can't create the money if we're keeping Orlando Scandrick on the roster. And I'm glad that Orlando Scandrick came up, because that's more proof that we probably should be looking to replace Hitchens by committee, or by a veteran out there that might be cheaper, that could give us probably the same thing that he can. Because I look up Scandrick, and when we signed him, yes, he was our best DB on the team at the time that we signed him. Which, I mean, maybe it made a little bit of sense. In my opinion, it didn't, because I don't necessarily believe in locking up guys that can't get interceptions at the cornerback position, or unless you're shutting guys down. But that's another discussion for another day. But with him getting hurt, we found out that we got young guys that can give us the same things, maybe even a little bit more. At this point, he's expendable. He's expendable because we had to survive without him. The only difference is we had to spend tens of millions of dollars to figure that out. Why do we need to spend tens of millions of dollars to find out what we already know about Hitchens? Because ultimately, Hitchens' production really just depends on how healthy Sean Lee is. And if it depends on how healthy Sean Lee is, why are we keeping him around? Because when Sean Lee disappears, nobody's like, well, Hitchens held him together. Like, the defense implodes. And then, if you want to bring up the argument that both Hitch and Sean Lee were out, although I believe we've had enough tape, or we've had enough of Hitchens without Sean Lee over the years anyway, but if you want to use that argument, that's even more proof that we need to shore up the depth and use our money a little bit wisely. Now, right now, we don't necessarily have any ties to him money-wise. So I think that we could cut ties clean and just go forward with another idea. Because it's not like we can't improve at the linebacker position. Like, that's one of our needs. That's one of the draft needs that we've been talking about is linebacker. We've been talking about linebacker even with the chance of getting Hitchens back. So that should tell you all that you need to know. And as far as Orlando Scandrick is going, I think the writing's on the wall with the fact that we moved Byron back to corner. Because look at the depth of that position now. We got Byron Jones, we got Jordan Lewis, we got Awuzie, and we got Anthony, I forget his name, Anthony Brown. We got Anthony Brown. So, and there's still a possibility that we can get another corner in the draft. Like, we're pretty deep at that position right now with a guy who's really good in the secondary. We need to be focusing on, okay, bringing in some safeties, in my opinion. But that's just what I'm thinking. Money-wise, with Orlando Scandrick, we can save probably about $3 million this year, and I don't know how much we'd be saving the next year, but it just makes sense to cut ties with him now so that we can, stack up a little bit of this money. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of dead money on top of that, but that's dead money that I could live with if it ultimately means that we can create some room to bring Earl Thomas in. But let me know what you guys think, man. This was just something that was on my brain. I think that logically it just makes sense to cut ties with both guys. And maybe there are a couple of more guys that we should cut ties with as well. But we just can't fall in love with certain players. It just doesn't work that way. If we want to continue to keep getting better and staying on top of the curve, then we have to manage our turnover correctly. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Peace.